Hello class, welcome again to a new explanation with Professor Angie. Today we are going to talk about the first conditional, right? We are going to talk about el primer condicional. We already saw the zero or open conditional. Let's see the first one. Let's begin with this. Okay, we have a little bit of troubles. Let's see, pretty good. First of all, what is the first conditional? The first conditional indicates something that may happen in the present or future. It has two clause structure. This includes an if clause and a main clause. Es decir, ¿qué es un condicional? ¿Qué es el primer condicional? Nos indica algo que puede suceder en el presente o en el futuro. Tiene dos partes o dos cláusulas. Va a tener la if clause y la main clause. Va a tener la if, que vamos a identificarla porque va a tener la palabra if, y va a tener la main clause, que sería como la causa o la cláusula principal. We're going to read this tree and then explain it. A comma usually separates the two clauses if the if clause precedes the main clause. The example below illustrates the comma necessity. Okay, if I win the contest, I will be rich. I can see I use the comma right here. Utilizo la coma right here, ¿ok? ¿Por qué? Porque empecé con if, que sería la if clause, y esta es la main clause. So I'm going to separate them by using a comma. In the other way around, we have this. When the main clause appears first, there is not need comma for a comma. Like this example. I will be rich if I win the contest. When you see, we don't have a comma because we start by the main clause. Iniciamos con la main clause aquí. Y eso no significa que no deja de ser una first conditional. When the main clause comes first, if acts as a conjunction and joins the two clauses together. Es decir, cuando esta cláusula principal viene al principio, ese if va a actuar como una conjunción. Lo que va a hacer esto, unir las dos partes de la oración para que trabajen in the properly way. Let's see the first conditional structure. The first conditional form, if plus simple present subject plus will or want, depending on what you want, affirmative or negative sentences, plus a verb. The first conditional uses a different verb for each clause. Es decir, el primer condicional utiliza verbos en diferente forma para cada cláusula, ya que son dos. To construct the if clause, you will write, para construir la if sería con esta estructura. If plus subject plus simple present verb tense. Utilizamos el if, el subject y el presente simple, el verbo en presente simple. Then, to construct the main clause, you will write subject plus will plus verb. Sujeto más will más verb, verb in the base form. Este will va a ser como el verbo be in future. Remember that the verb be in future is will or want, depending on if it is affirmative or negative. But the verb, you will use it in the base form. And let's see what he says. You can reverse the order of the clauses. If the if clause comes first, a comma is usually used. If the if clause comes second, there is no need for a comma. Like this example, I will stay at home if it rains. Esto quiere decir prácticamente lo mismo que había explicado, que si la if clause está al principio, utilizamos coma, ¿verdad? Separando if clause, coma, main clause. Si empieza con main clause, we don't need a comma because the if, it will work as a conjunction, right? The first conditional, like this structure that we already saw, I recommend you that to write it down, the structures, in order to be more understandable or in order to understand better this topic. The usage, what is the usage of the first conditional? to talk about possibilities in the present or in the future, as we mentioned. We have some examples that we are going to read it together. If it rains, I will stay at home. If I wake up late, I will miss the bus. You can see here we have, like in this case, que va a ser que inicie con if. But remember, not all the times the first conditional starts by the if. No el primer condicional siempre va a iniciar con if. Puede iniciar con the main clause. Then you see the if, the comma, main clause. If, clause, comma, main clause. Well, we're going to read these examples. It is easy to construct the first conditional if you remember what verb form to use in each clause. Muy importante. Si nosotros recordamos cómo son las formas o las estructuras de las dos clauses en la first conditional, se nos va a hacer super easy. Simple dimple. A piece of cake. Okay? It is the key to remember that the main clause will use will before the verb. In contrast, the if clause only utilizes the simple verb form. Please pay attention to this because this is so important to take this into account. Please write it down this because this information that I put right here, I put it for a reason, for a purpose. Let's read this. The doctor will hide if he sees a cat. It's possible the cat could see a car. If I visit my grandma, I will go to the park. It's possible I could visit my grandma. She will go to the dentist if I take her. I may take her to the dentist. If you study hard, you will pass your exams. It's a possibility that you will pass your exams if you study hard. And if Mary comes home, I will tell her about the exam. So if Mary comes home, it is a possibility, as I already mentioned. If I cook the supper, I will wash the dishes. Remember, everything is about possibilities. I remember this part to write it down and to analyze that, okay? Es decir, la clave en esto de recordar cuál va a ser la main clause es porque la main clause va a utilizar will antes del verbo principal. En cambio, la if clause solo va a usar el presente, like this. Vemos the dog, that is the subject, will, that is the verb be in future, then the verb. Ahora, ¿qué vemos acá? Vemos que will va a ir después de esto. Es decir, va a haber un sujeto, will, y el verbo. ¿Acá qué va a ser? If, sujeto, verbo. Aquí no tenemos un verb be, right? So this is the difference between the main clause and the if clause. How and when to use the first conditional. Conditional sentences type 1 in this says we can say the first conditional. It is used to talk about things which are possible in the present or in the future. It is generally used for things which may happen. When I say may happen, it's because it is a possibility. We don't know exactly if that happened or not. How and when to use the first conditional. Let's read this with examples. Example with conditional type number 1. If it rains, I will sit at home. If I wake up late, I will miss the bus. Ahora, the other is when we use may or might to say that the future event is possible but not definitely. Okay? If you need someone to help you move, I might be able to help. Entonces aquí voy a usar este might o este may para decir que ese evento a futuro es posible, pero no es definitivo, pero es una posibilidad. Like the other example, if it's a sunny day tomorrow, we might have a pool party. Es decir, es una posibilidad que tengamos una fiesta con piscina y todo, porque tal vez mañana amanezca soleado. is a possibility in the future. Sometimes when we use be going to instead of will, it may, in the main clause, it is done. They emphasize on the certain result. When I say it's done, es para enfatizar en el resultado. Es decir, I already know that that is going to happen. Remember the use of the be going to, ¿verdad? Es decir, cuando digo I'm going to, she going to, you are going to. Cuando utilizo el going to, es que I'm pretty sure about. If I use will, it's because I'm not pretty sure about what is going to happen in the future. But I'm going to, will, they are going to, or they are made to talk about in future. Estos son para hablarse en futuro, like these examples. I'm going to give you 20 pounds if you fix my computer for me. ¿Ok? Vemos que aquí no utilicé will. ¿Por qué? Porque I'm emphasized to a certain result. I really know that I'm going to give you 20 pounds if you fix my computer. O sea, yo sé que me van a dar 20 pounds si yo arreglo su computadora por mí, por usted. I'm going to stay for the weekend if you like. Es decir, yo me voy a quedar el fin de semana si usted quiere. Because I already know that I'm going to stay in your home, in your bedroom, in whatever, in a hotel, if you like, okay? If you are not ready, I'm going to go out without you. Si tú no estás listo, yo me voy a ir sin ti. Esto quiere decir que estoy segura de lo que va a suceder in the future. Remember, just talk about future. Okay, this one is a pretty different part of this video. You have to take a screenshot of this video in this part and complete the exercise below by circling. Well, you have to write or circle whatever you want the correct answer to complete the first conditional. You will have two options, right? Will get va a ser una y va a estar dividido por este or. Entonces, will get or get. Will be able to see or are able to see. You choose and then you submit or you add it into the Google Classroom that you already have a homework for that. So you add the file. If you want to write down in a Word file, it's okay. If you want to have a PDF, it is okay for me. So the only thing that I want is to upload this. And with this, I will know if you watch my videos or not. And in this part, you have to circle the verbs that use the incorrect form of the first conditional. The incorrect form, remember. Circle the verbs, just the verbs. Then take a screenshot, whatever you want, and then add it into the homework. The homework is going to be called by first conditional. And then thank you so much for paying attention and see you in another video. Hopefully that you make homework for me and practice a lot this topic that is so easy that you only have to pay attention about the grammar and about the uses of the verb form. So see you, goodbye. Tengan una linda semana y estén a salvo. Goodbye.